I'm Sue Guzman. This is Fox News.
Fox on Faith with Lauren Green.
He rose from poverty to be a world-class drummer, performing with the likes of Lenny Kravitz and Earth, Wind and Fire. But he credits his mother's love and her faith that could move mountains. The story now in a new memoir.
It's so about this mother, her tenacious spirit, and how she poured these things into us against all odds, and how she had this indomitable joy. So I am the product of her.
His name is Zorro. Abandoned by his Irish father and raised with 6 other siblings by his single Mexican mother, Zorro had dreams of becoming a huge success. He rose to fame in the music circles, even hobnobbing with the Jackson 5. But he says God has been writing his story and paving a way out of no way. Now he's encouraging others with his autobiography, Maria's Scarf.
The greatest thing that I can leave this earth, and the greatest way I can impact more people, is to write a story of this miraculous power of what God is able to do, because people will find hope in that story.
To hear more, go to Lighthouse Faith Podcast at foxnews.com. For Fox on Faith, Lauren Green.
KFC's Extra Tasty Spicy is here to set every moment on fire. Spice up your day with a dash of extreme spicy. Available in battered fries, boneless crispy strips, and KFC crispy chicken. Order the Extra Tasty Spicy and get ready for a fiery feast. Enter KFC's spiciest era yet. Get your fix at your favorite KFC today or order online at kfcguam.com. KFC, it's finger licking good.
May 19th, save the date for Choice Broadcasting and Lotte Hotel Guam's Island Wedding Expo. Free admission. Join us in the Crystal Ballroom from 9 a.m. until 3 p.m. for refreshments, raffles, and a fun passport stamping for a couple to win a flyaway courtesy of United Airlines. The couple must be present to win. Special thanks to some of our fine sponsors: Perfect View 360, Stelstar Productions, Weddings by Jane, The Occasion, Modern Nen, Tentata, DJ Booth and Lighting, Michaela Winters Photography, Say Media, Heaven Sent, Rustic Poppy Photography, and so many more. May 19th, it's the Island Wedding Expo.
Fox on Tech.
Forbes broke the story obtaining court documents where law enforcement officials asked Google's YouTube to turn over IP addresses, names, addresses, telephone numbers, and user activity for all users that viewed a certain YouTube video that had over 30,000 views, all in their effort to figure out the identity of a Google user they thought could have viewed the video who was suspected of money laundering. But the amount of information that the law enforcement was asking for meant that potentially thousands of innocent Google users would have been caught up in law enforcement's hunt. Google says they take law enforcement requests seriously and balance helping them while protecting user privacy. Quote, "We have a rigorous process designed to protect the privacy and constitutional rights of our users. We examine each demand for legal validity consistent with developing case law, and we routinely push back against overbroad or otherwise inappropriate demands for user data, including objecting to some of those demands entirely." With Fox on Tech, Hillary Vaughn, Fox Business.
Veterans with Benefits with your hosts, Anthony Tyron and Corinna Ballista, starts now.
Half a day, we are back. Veterans with Benefits, Monday nights at 6 p.m. You can call in at 671-888-TALK. I'm Corinna with...
And I'm Anthony.
All right. So first we'll start with our sponsors. No announcements because we have the whole radio show. Unfortunately, we do not have Toto Guam with us today, but they will join us next week. So sponsors are Ambrose. We have American Legion. They have steak day every second Saturday. So you just missed it, but you have to go to their steak day. So delicious. So amazing. Habzaba Clinic, Guam Eco Services, Noka Oi, and Vic Gaza for Senator. Thanks, Vic, for sponsoring us. And then if there's any other senators or anyone running that would like to come on the show, give us a call. 11Z's and Zoilo.org. So thank you. Huge shout out to Peter Leon Guerrero of Zoilo.org for helping us with our website, HMI's website. Thank you. Okay. Oh, Veteran of the Week.
You're going to do it?
Yes. Veteran of the Week.
First, let me say hello to Knox and Aaliyah.
Yay. Okay, so Veteran of the Week is Kenny King. Ooh. Kenny was born and raised in Albuquerque, New Mexico, and joined the United States Navy via the Delayed Entry Program in 1986. He departed immediately after high school for boot camp, serving from 1987 until 1993. He attended boot camp and aid school A School in Great Lakes, Illinois. He was an engine man and was stationed aboard the USS Gunston Hall, LSD-44. He was part of both the pre-commissioning and commissioning crews out of Little Creek, Virginia. He was deployed during Operation Desert Storm and Desert Shield. En route to Persian Gulf, Kenny was assigned as the workspace supervisor, overseeing main machinery room number 2 as a brand new E5 in August of 1990, until being honorably discharged in October 1991. Kenny then enlisted with the Navy Reserves, afterwards serving from 1992 to 1993. His best friend aboard the Gunston Hall was a fellow engineman. And now Kenny has a distinct honor of being married to his best friend's sister, Suzanne. Thanks, Suzanne and Kenny. I mean, they tell the story. It's a funny story. If you ever run into him, ask him to tell him the story of Kenny and Suzanne. They have been married. They have been married for 31 years with 4 children and 2 grandchildren. Having spent 27 years in ministry at his local church in South Carolina and 25 years in the IT industry, he was called of God to Guam in November 2018 and now pastors the Lighthouse Baptist Church in Santa Rita. I love that the Lord brought us to Guam. It's a dream come true to pastor our church and an honor to volunteer with HMI. My first introduction to HMI was in December of 2021 during Boot Camp 2. Prior to that time, I had tried to begin but was frustrated and confused about the claims process and had decided to abandon it. I had decided to abandon the pursuit altogether. But after just a couple of hours and boot camp number 2, I understood enough to take charge of my claim. And since then, I have tried to assist other veterans to better understand the process so that they too can take charge of their claim. The benefits I have received have been life-changing and have made a lasting improvement for my family and I. So let's honor his service. Thank him for his service. Kenny King. All right.
Yay. Where's the...
Oh, he's doing the clapping. Your earphones not in, but I could hear it.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, I could hear it. He's doing the yay.
Very good.
So I guess we could talk about all the things. Anthony and I always say that we never really get to just, chit-chat about, all things veterans or HMI because we have a guest on. But now we can.
That's correct. And where do we want to start?
Oh my gosh, there's so many
Where's the
things.
list? What do we got to talk about?
Maybe talk about our
Let's go
last
backwards.
week. Our last week.
Yeah, why don't we talk about what was the latest things? Was it Saturday? We had
Oh, you want to go backwards from
all right,
most
let's start
recent?
Monday.
Yeah, Monday.
Monday we had the show.
Oh yeah, we did.
And we also had boot camp.
Yes.
And where was boot camp?
Boot camp was in PD. Did we make it down after the show?
Yes, we did, of course.
We did, yeah, we did.
We had to have, or else they
Yes.
would have fired us.
No, they wouldn't
Yes.
fire
Okay.
us.
So day one we didn't have. This time around the CBOC didn't come down.
No, but they were there on Wednesday.
They came down Wednesday. Yes, and we also had some folks that came specifically to register with the CBOC. And
Yes.
they had pictures taken.
Yes.
And who was the person from?
Celeste.
Oh,
I was
that's
wondering
right.
what the camera was doing. I was like, is she going to take a picture of boot camp? And then when I saw her take a picture of a veteran, and then her background was a white, it was one of the, what is it called? The curtains.
Yes.
It was one of the curtains. So she had a chair there. So if you've ever been to CBOC and you see this sign on a chair all by itself, it says Veterans Health Identification Card. That's because Celeste uses that chair to take a picture of the veteran for their Veterans Health Identification Card. And tell them why it's important that they should register.
Well, so there's the new PACT Act, March 5th PACT Act expansion,
Yes.
which not just helps those that weren't deployed, but anybody that was in service and may have been exposed to a environmental hazard or, some chemical hazard. So for many of us, and one of the things that are going on today is the AFFF. Is that correct?
Yes,
So
AFFF.
the AFFF is something that we're thinking is going to be quite quite like the Agent Orange, I guess, of this era. And when we say that, it's not even during combat. It's mostly when we're back home, and it's usually the firefighter foam that they're spraying. And they're finding there's quite a bit of quite a bit of chemicals in there that will have an adverse effect on most of our veterans. And I think it's starting to do that already. So those are some of the things. For many of us out there, right, we might be thinking, well, I didn't go to combat. Maybe there's nothing that I can apply for or will be qualified for. Well, let the folks from the CBOC tell you yes or no, right? You just got to bring your DD-214, take it up to the CBOC, or we're going to be at our next boot camp, which is going to be in
Boot Camp 30.
Boot Camp 30. And it'll be down in
Orda Chalampago.
It's their community center by the baseball field. Yes.
I don't know the name of it, but I know the last time we had it, oh my gosh, it was full house. I think we had 60 or 70 people show up.
Yes. So we're hoping to beat that number this time and get 140, double that number. Is that what you want in there?
There'll be nowhere to sit.
Oh, nowhere to sit. Okay. Well,
they're going to say, sorry, you guys got to move out to the field house if you're going to have this many people.
Yes. Well, and more importantly, once we can narrow down when the folks from CBOC will be there, we'd like for those that have not gone to register to actually come out and go to the CBOC and take a look, right? Get them to see whether your DD-214 is something that would allow you to meet the requirements for the PACT Act expansion.
Yes. And then next we had, what do we have to say? Oh, we had chatting with the coach.
Yes.
At Hebzibah Clinic. And then that was the day after. So boot camp, chatting with the coach, and then the next thing was our fundraiser.
Yes.
I feel like we didn't have a break at all.
Really?
Last week. We didn't, no.
Oh, you guys can handle it.
No. The fundraiser was a great turnout. We had it at...
Good Company.
Yes, and you wanted to talk about Rob?
Yes, so Rob Salas is a veteran himself, and he opened the Good Company bar down there in Hagutnya.
And it's right next to Stax.
Yes, it's right next. It's in the same set of buildings as Stax, and it's right beside the old Bank of Hawaii in Hagutnya. So if you get some time, please get down there and support him. He's a veteran, and he's got a business. I also wanted to talk about something that he brought to my attention, and he mentioned to me that last year on Veterans Day, what he decided to do was for the whole week, he was going to provide food and have our veterans come down there and have a Veterans Week. So we now have Veterans Day, we have Veterans Week, and we have Year of the Veteran. Yes. Awesome. So this is great stuff, right? I mean, we got our veterans doing many different things. So I also wanted to talk about bringing that up. Rob, if you're listening, I brought that issue up with Charlie Hermosa. Charlie's part of the task force, and his job is to coordinate a lot of our businesses out there to keep them engaged in the Year of the Veteran and have them provide different things. I think this month it was Hafaloa that was mentioned that would be giving some discounts.
Yes, I think they give a 15% discount for veterans.
Okay. And if we need to, we could have Charlie call in. But regarding Rob's event, if you are a business out there, reach out to Rob at Good Company down in Hagutnya and try to take advantage of this thing that he's put together. It's quite unique and awesome. But, you know, if you can maybe pick a day, and maybe we'll have one day Chili's will be there. The next day we could have Hard Rock Cafe. We could have any of the other places that would like to, you know, provide some food on the week of Veterans Day. And I guess Rob will announce all that, and we'll get together with Charlie. So for the two of you, this is your warning that you're getting out there on the air, and everybody knows that's going to be Veterans Week. And it's going to be hosted by Good Company and Rob Salas and anybody out there that wants to provide some food or just
Did he
get
do it
involved.
Monday to Wednesday or Monday? Did he do it all?
He said he did it for the whole week.
Oh, okay.
So he created Veterans Week.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
so he
it's-
created a Veterans Week.
Yeah, that's some good stuff.
I
So-
know Candy reached out to me last year, but we were really busy with our 5K and our gala, and there was just so much going on that we just wouldn't be able to dedicate any time or resources to it. But now that we know about it, we could plan for it.
Yes, and that's what we're doing right now is we're asking all of you out there, reach out to Charlie Hermosa. Everyone knows Charlie, and everyone knows Good Company where it's
Yes.
at. So reach out to them, get involved. All you veterans out there, just get ready because it's Year of the Veteran, but down there during Veterans Week, you're going to be able to have a good time. And we hope that you go down there between now and then and towards the end of the year and take advantage of Rob's nice place.
Okay, let's say hello to everyone online.
Okay.
We have Gina Ascension watching. Hi, Gene. We have Wayne Murray. He says, aloha from A1 VA West.
Oh, wow.
Hello, Wayne Murray. When are you coming out to Guam again? And then we have Brennan Fausto. Let's go, veteran warfighters. And then Charlie Hermosa is watching. He goes, how are you guys? Don't forget to fill out your 21-22A forms. And he does the face hand emoji.
Well, that's good stuff.
And we have Amy Jackson watching, and we have Janalu watching.
Hey.
And then Narina Tyron says, hi, Papa.
Whoa, hey, Knox. Hi, Narina.
Okay, so we did want to talk about CBOC will be at our boot camp, every boot camp, but we're just not sure. I was like, what's going on in there? Jose, our producer, is like waving his hands. I'm like, what is he doing? He's getting into uniform. So if you see Anthony, can you just move to the left a little bit? Sorry, to the right. Yeah. You'll see Anthony's name. So Jose has his own shirt, and we ordered your red one. I swear, Jose, I checked on it today, and I'm like, where is his shirt? They said it'll be here Friday or Saturday, the latest. But just know that it's coming. Shelly Gibson says, my Monday evening drive home listening. Hi guys.
Hello.
Hello, Shelly. Shelly, we met your brother at a Guam chamber, remember?
Yes, Dave.
Yes, Dave. And what was it for? Oh, it was for the AI. It was the AI presentation?
Yes.
That was pretty cool.
Uh-huh. And by the way, VA is using AI, so we got to get our veterans into learning how to use the AI as well.
Well, I mean, it had some hiccups because there was the ask a question on va.gov, but there were some hiccups because it was kind of really just basic and standard. Yes. There was no really, in-depth, Anyways, it was AI. It's still learning. But thank you for watching, Shelly. So we did want to talk about the latest news in VA. So April 25th, VA expanded. Hi, Rose. VA expanded access to care and benefits for some former service members who did not receive an honorable or general discharge. I did want to read a little bit about that because, veterans. Hi, Jessica. Hi, Rose Santiago. They're joining us online.
All right.
I did want to read about the article because I did pull it up. So VA regulation will now expand access to care and benefits for certain former service members by eliminating the regulatory bar for homosexual acts involving aggravating circumstances or other factors affecting the performance of duty as a bar to benefits. The other one is creating a compelling circumstances exception for certain former service members and those ones who were discharged for willful and persistent misconduct or an offense involving moral turpitude. Also, opening the door for previously denied service members to reapply. So just like the PACTEC expansion, I'm pretty sure those veterans that were denied also received letters from the VA. You know how some of them are saying, hey, I got this letter. It told me that I was denied before. I should reapply. So hopefully you should be receiving a letter from the VA. It was just April 25th, so...
And I recall when we first started, working with veterans and getting their benefits and claims turned in, right? If they were not eligible, right, usually the VA would tell you that right away. Mm-hmm. It'll tell them this is
to give them a
you are not you're not able to file, right? Mm-hmm. There's a warning of some sort that they let the veterans know. So But there's a new requirement that allows these folks to go ahead and apply, even though they've had, other than honorable is what it's considered?
Yes.
What about bad conduct?
Yes, so that one is also there because, when they did apply in the, when before they knew what PTSD was, the veteran, they would call it shirking or will not conform. So they just, basically kicked them out. And someone even told me they had an uncharacterized discharge. I need to do some research about that because I just heard about that today. But those that were denied should reapply.
And there's a lot of areas here that we could talk about, right? So, I mean, when you think about some of the things that they may have been booted out of the service for, right? It'll be things like use of cannabis, right?
Yes.
And that was back then. Today, cannabis is considered legal, right? I mean, not on the federal side, but on the most states have recreational cannabis use. So I'm not sure that necessarily is the gateway to allowing these upgrades or the ability to do that. Now, there was also one more thing we needed to talk about that, right, is that you have multiple enlistments, and if only one enlistment is showing a negative, discharge, the remaining can still be used. Is that correct?
But now, so that most of the time, is with Guard and Reserve, or if you're active duty and you separated, right? So I know some veterans that joined the Army, that joined the Air Force active duty, so they have multiple DD-214. So yes, they could use that time, that DD-214 and apply for benefits for that service or that time period. But now, right, with this new law, they can apply and use any of those.
Yes, and I recall one veteran who let me know that he went and did his intent to file. He did this on his own. He called the 1-800-827-1000 number, and he did an intent to file over the phone. And previously, he was not able to file. And at this point, when he went and made the phone call, they took his intent to file over the phone.
Yes.
So, and that's part of what we teach at the boot camp is to do things that, empower our veteran to do this on their own. Yes. And by the way, the VA wants our veterans to go online.
They do.
They want them to apply for their VA.gov account. And we have the folks up at Tejan,
yes,
right? All you got to do is go up there.
And they can help them with their account, yes.
And they'll create an account for them, username and password, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
And the perfect, and they create the DS login for them, which is perfect because they can get access to Mail Connect. And when they have access to Mail Connect, they can download their DD-214. They can download their medical records. Yes. They can also go to TRICARE Online and download their medical records from TRICARE Online because in October, it's sunsetting, and then it's all going to MHS Genesis portal. Some places use the portal now, but once you have DS login, it's perfect. But also checking their claim online. And then I also show the veterans, hey, don't call CBOC because they're so busy. Use the secure message because once you have your app on your phone, you can message your PAC team. And that's amazing. Not only that, like you have a record of what you told your doctor or your nurse, and you can request for medications, appointments, referrals. Everything can be done on the app. But we also know, right, that not everyone is tech savvy.
Right.
So there's that end.
So they need some help sometimes.
Yes. Well, and that's why I always tell the veterans, go grab that iPad that you bought for your grandchild or an iPad or a device that's not being used, and use that, make that your dedicated device.
And if you don't have all these things that, that exist for technology, if you don't have a phone, you don't have a computer, right? I mean, you're welcome to go to any of our VSOs that exist on island, right? We have Alan Turner, who's a VSO. You can fill out the form that Charlie talked about, 2122, and he can be your VSO and help you. So, these are things that are available to you. We also have how many folks down in Assen? 4? 4 VSOs down there. So the island has 5 VSOs. So if you're listening out there, there are VSOs that exist on island. get out there, sign the 2122, and get them to help you with your claim.
Yes.
Okay? That's you taking proactive measures. Now, we have to share with you that there's only 5 of them. And I think the last number that we heard from the director was there are 24,000 DD-214s that shows the number of veterans we have on island. So if we divide that by 4 or 5, let's just use 6. So they each get 4,000.
That's not enough.
That is so great.
We have David Mays. He said half a day, Anthony and Karina. We have Lee Weber. Hello, Lee Weber.
Yes, sir.
He says first time listening to you folks. And then we have Vincent John Santos, HMI with the fist bump, I think.
Okay.
And then we're gonna take a break. Yes, I hear the break music. We'll be right back.
Call in if you need to.
Yes, 671-888-TALK.
I'm Jen from Guam.
Morgan, I'm Tina from Yap.
I'm Joy from Chuk.
And we want to invite you to
GMIF 2024.
The Guam Visitors Bureau brings you the 36th Annual Guam Micronesia Island Fair on June 1st and 2nd at Ipao Beach Park. The fun starts at noon and continues until 10 p.m. Join us for a weekend of food, art, and entertainment from all the islands. Don't miss out. Let's bring our islands together and regenerate Micronesia. The GMIF 2024, another GVB signature event.
And we're back. So before we went on break, Anthony was talking about the VSOs, number of VSOs, and it's not enough for our veterans. So that's a great segue into the oversight hearing that we had and the 2 bills that I think were born out of it.
Yes, and so we know that we bumped into Joe San Augustine, right? We won't mention where, but we had a good lunch with him, I think. I don't know. Did he treat us?
You mean today?
Anyway, so no, we bumped into him, and he mentioned to us a lot about the things that are going on, and you know, he himself as a veteran and his wife is a veteran, right? Looking at, you know, finally getting this thing really sustainable, right? And I don't know that we'll ever get it to be perfect, but we have to look at that and try to get it as best we can, and we all got to come together and work around these things, right? I know in the past some of the folks were kind of weren't as informed in the past about things that are going on. Plus, things have changed since the old days and up until today.
Oh, definitely.
And more today more than ever is the best time to be a veteran. So
definitely. So the 2 bills, before we go any further, were the first one was appropriating $1 million.
Okay, that's
to
Joe San Augustine's.
To the GOVA,
to the Aston office,
for 6 more VSOs and 6 cemetery staff.
Yes.
So that's and then a lot of veterans, I think maybe 5 provided testimony. I know we tried to, but we were in a meeting, so we couldn't make it.
Or
and
were
then
we
the
helping
other
a
bill,
veteran?
I think we're helping a veteran, maybe.
Yes.
And then the other bill was
Senator Tello Taitagui
to provide
I think it was a vehicle,
liaison?
yeah, and a
liaison to coordinate healthcare, and that's huge because let me tell you, like we were just talking about earlier, a lot of veterans are not tech savvy, right? And a lot of them have a hard time with Benny travel because some veterans don't know that, like you said, and like we always, teach you at boot camp is, hey, if you're a retired veteran, you probably are so happy because you go to Naval Hospital, but oh, by the way, their priority is active duty. But if you are service connected, the VA will send you to Tripler or to Matsunaga or to Straub's in Hawaii or Queens in Hawaii. They pay for your ticket and your hotel, and then they reimburse you for your meals when you come back. You just have to file your voucher within 30 days, or your your voucher, not a voucher. What is it called? File your reimbursement to use a reimbursement claim. Right? I don't know. I think it's called a voucher that they give you.
Travel voucher.
I don't know what it's called. Okay. But anyways, I mean those are two really good bills. I don't know if the hearing was for both of them. I wish we were able to listen to the whole thing.
And to talk a little bit about that too, right? Just right now we have like if I'm not mistaken, there are three social workers up at the CBOC.
Oh, there's 3 now.
Yeah, they're only there to take care of our veterans up there. And remember, it's not 24,000. That's the entire island, right? And that's a good number. I mean, it's great to hear. But I want to say that it's either 7 or 5,000 is the number that CBOC has on file for
5. I think they said 5.
5,000, right? So even at that rate, having just 3 social workers,
that's not enough either.
Yeah, and so in speaking with some of them, they're like most of us would talk about. These are great folks up there trying to help our veterans. You know, I mean, I've had the opportunity to talk to I want to say it's Mara, and then there's also Erica Escalante, right? I mean, those are the 2 that I recall. And with speaking to these 2, right, they have quite a bit of work to do to help us. And there's a program on Guam for social workers. However, I believe there's something missing in the program that is preventing them from doing some work over at the CBOC.
Oh, so they have to have been, excuse me, they had to have not graduated from UOG, but not, so I guess UOG's program, you're not allowed, I don't know if it's a degree program, but I know they have to have received their social work degree off island, just not UOG. So maybe that's something that we could talk to.
This is a great way to get either the president or get our lawmakers to look at something like this, so that we have these folks available to help our veterans, because our veterans need some of this help, right? So if we can have more social workers up there understanding what's going on, like right now, Brian Cregan is a doctor who's also a veteran out there, and he has to go out to the homes of our veterans.
Oh yeah, like House. I know we did talk to him. He didn't have enough time on the radio, I don't think, last time.
Yeah, the last time he did it, but we'll get him back on. And and he's always available, right? The issue though with him is the social worker may be the person that holds the answer to some of the issues going on with our veterans at home. And if they can take a look at that setup, they might be able to maybe provide a little bit more guidance for the medical health.
Yes. And then, or we can bring it up to the congressman, because remember, was he the one that coordinated the Codell visit? Mike Bost. Yes. And they visited the CBOC. And he posed some questions to him, like, what are those questions? The very specific question I remember was about services, services for veterans.
So like when veterans call.
Oh yes, having someone dedicated on Guam.
Yes,
during our hours. Yeah. Because I know all the veterans are like, hey, when I call, the number gets transferred to Hawaii and then to California. So, and then I tested it too, and it happened to me 3 times. And I'm like, I'm just calling you guys back, and I get someone in California. Anyways, those are very specific questions. We have a caller?
Yes, we have Steve from Dedido.
Steve.
Shall we get it?
Yes.
Do you know Steve?
I can't see his last name. He needs to tell me how to say it.
But is he a good guy that we should be talking to?
He is a good guy.
Is he?
Yes.
Is he a veteran?
He's a veteran.
Steve.
No, I'm not a veteran. I didn't go to war.
Oh my gosh, you're a veteran.
No, I just want to say thank you for what you guys are doing, and as far as that form you guys are talking about, that's all me pretty much like attorney in fact, right? Any veterans can fill in and file their own claims. They can, they attend you guys boot camp, and when they attend that. All veterans I'm quite sure that they understand what they're filling in.
Yeah.
So they don't really need that form because, they're just trying to absorb the knowledge or whatever additional information you guys can provide that they can file, they can do their own claims online. Because a lot of our veterans are doing their claims online. So I know I saw that 21, 22, whatever form you guys are talking about.
Yes.
You have to be a registered VSO to help our fellow veterans. Well, I don't think it's not really a requirement because if I talk to a fellow veteran and say, hey, this is how you do it, I don't need to have them sign it. Guide them through the process. Yeah. That's what we're all here for.
And you know what?
To help each other out.
While we like that, right, Stephen? You know, when we start getting into a lot of the things that have to happen and the processes and everything, right? What we definitely don't want to be doing is like trying to circumvent something that exists, right? And there's valid reasons why they would need to sign that. And you know, when we talk about that, right? There's also these from before there were bad actors out there. So today we're paying for their sins. And you're absolutely right. Wouldn't it be nice if we all could get this information and be able to do this on our own? I'm sure our less than tech savvy folks from maybe the Vietnam War era, they probably might have it more challenging and more difficult for them to navigate that and might need just a little bit more help.
Yeah, just showing them, but you're not filling out the form for them. Just telling them what needs to be done because they know exactly what they're claiming for. But I want to jump on the bill that you guys are talking about, Bill 285 by 37, I believe, by the Speaker. That's a good bill.
Yes.
$1 million from the surplus they're trying to allot for our local veterans officers. 6, and I hope that when they hire those 6 people, 6 VSOs right now, so I think 6 veterans cemetery workers, but the VSO they're more concerned of, and probably they should also send them out of that $1 million, send them someplace for training to get certified to help our fellow veterans, and then to really take a look at the space there, because if you have 6 VSOs, that's a small building. There's not that much privacy that's going to be happening in that building, because you'll be able to hear what's going on in those rooms. So.
Well, we did. So another function that we did get invited to last week was the MOPH convention, Military Order Purple Heart Convention. Thank you, Nick Francisco, and the auxiliary and all the other MOPH branches for inviting HMI. So last week, HMI and a bunch of other veteran organizations were given donations by MOPH.
Thank you.
And so the lieutenant governor was there, and he talked about how I think there's a deadline on public health to move out of what was that building called? The old legislature building?
The old legislature.
What's it called? It has a name.
Hessler Building?
Oh, Hessler Building. So he did say that. So Nick Francisco said that he's going to go stroll by and see if they're actually moving out. But I mean, you're absolutely correct. They need a home, and all the veteran organizations need a home. And if you're going to expand your staff, then yes, you need to put them somewhere, right? So, and then the GOVA director did say that the Aston office is under renovation. So.
Yeah, and I know they were installing new AC there about a couple weeks ago. But you're right. The old Guam legislature building was supposed to be for our veterans. And what happened was when the small fire at the Manila Public Health, where they could have fixed instead of abandoning the whole place, it's a small electrical fire. I mean, they could have called Red Horse and fixed that up. I mean, I'm an electrician, and we managed to renovate a lot of buildings that has worse condition of the public health. Talking to some employee from public health, it was just smoke.
Yeah.
So what they could have done, they could have prioritized public health, fixed that up, and they pretty much robbed our veterans the space that was slotted for that. They prioritized public health, where they could have moved someplace else and have our veterans office moved in Agana, where you have a bigger space, a better parking space, right? And probably more of a handicap or people with disability parking spaces and veterans space they can accommodate in that area. And you just have to prioritize. I mean, yes, they need a building, but they could have fixed the old public health.
Yeah.
And They could have called the National Guard because they did that in an apartment complex in Guam where they rebuilt that by Chodi, an apartment complex. It was in the news that they activated National Guard to help them for the homeless.
Well, maybe that's something that we do need to reach out to Red Horse or the CBs, right? To hopefully when public health moves out, so that the GOVA office and other the veteran organizations that will be able to use that space to.
This is an election year. It's election year.
I think we all know that.
Top of the line. Public safety, public health, education, and veterans. And I am tired of veterans being utilized every election year. They say that we are the top of their priority, but after election year, they forget about us.
And you know what, right, Steve? You bring up a great point, right? And these are things that it was really nice to have you in our task force meeting. And when we talk about that, right, it's good to get a lot of the interaction going because there was so many things that you brought up that answered a lot of the questions that we had about why they take veterans to the ER first and have the police there before they actually send them down to behavioral health. And that was a really good way for us to see, that's why this happens that way. It's not that they don't want to do it. It's a safety, it's a process, it's a procedure that we have to get to before we can make that. But here's the thought, right? Just like everything else that we're doing, why are we not making it happen? I mean, we know what needs to be done, but yet nobody is paying attention to that. And at the end of the day, we have to take it upon ourselves to find out how do we make that work. And maybe it could be just an education piece, maybe meeting of these folks and talking about it. And right now, right, through our task force, it's supposed to be Gerald Torres from the senator's office, as well as Joe Moffinas, who were tasked with reaching out to our government entities to help them to do things that are part of the Year of the Veteran. So the governor and lieutenant governor proclaimed this as Year of the Veteran. This is a time for all these folks that are out there in government entities to start thinking about how many veterans do you have in your organization. Celebrate them, have an open house to tell the veterans what services are going on there. On top of that, all these other things that could be happening is a way to engage all these directors to say, look, guys, why is it that some guy on a radio station is talking about not being able to get a veteran from point A to point B? That shouldn't be the case at all. We should know, and you already said it from our task force meeting. So, great.
Yeah, we also have to let our fellow veterans know that the benefits are not automatic. They have to apply. They have to sign up. And one of the key things,
unfortunately, yes.
Yeah, it's required is for us to set aside that pride that there's nothing wrong with me.
Yes.
Just if something's wrong, if you know there's something wrong with you, then hey, apply.
Yeah.
And the benefit that you're trying to prevent from getting because you got too much pride, is you're pretty much taking the benefit away from you, money that may probably going to your family and your kids.
And
so set aside that pride, right? And start filing it.
You said it, Steve.
And filing the claim, and all you can say is no, but the majority of the time they will approve it because the VA right now, the process is faster than it was before.
That's correct. And
would you guys help? Would you guys help? Helping our fellow veterans. I thank you guys for all you guys help.
Yeah.
And the fellow veterans, seek whatever help you guys may need to file for the claims and. One of these days, you're going to be happy to see the
yes. It's life-changing. Let me tell you. Life-changing, life-altering.
Yeah.
And they can get that health, additional health benefits, 50% above.
Yes.
You must cover most of your health.
And healthcare, yes. Free medicine.
Yeah.
Thanks, Steve. We have to take a break now, and then we have another caller.
Yeah, Charlie, we'll see you on the other side.
Charlie,
Thanks,
we'll get back to you.
Thank you for all your service, and God bless.
Thanks, Steve.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
KFC's Extra Tasty Spicy is here to set every moment on fire. Spice up your day with a dash of extreme spicy. Available in battered fries, boneless crispy strips, and KFC crispy chicken. Order the extra tasty spicy and get ready for a fiery feast. Enter KFC's spiciest era yet. Get your fix at your favorite KFC today or order online at kfcguam.com. KFC, it's finger licking good.
Hi, this is Jerry Roberts. What's happening in the workplace? What about your job and career? What ideas will find their way into your world? That's what you get with The Extra Point every day on The Ray Gibson Show here on 93.3 FM. Sometimes it's about what's in the news, or working relationships, or how to get further and do better. I try to make it interesting, inspiring, and hopefully sneak a little fun in too. Be a part of it. 7:25 weekday mornings. The Extra Point, brought to you by First Hawaiian Bank.
Back. So I just want to say hello to those that are watching us online. See, we just got off the phone with you. Charlie Hermosa. Deditor rules. Then he said, Semper Fi, Steve. And then Jason at Military Auto Source Guam said, retirees and disabled veterans can purchase a car through us. Come see us at Anderson Air Force Base.
Awesome.
Thank you for watching us, Jason. Lee Weber. As discussed the other day, we really need to find a way to get the balance of our 24,000 veterans signed up for benefits to gather more support from the Veterans Administration for Guam. Hopefully, what is this? Oh, get Guam designated as a adjudication center rather than a stepchild for Hawaii. I think we're all saying that, Lee.
Yes.
I think we're all saying that.
Thank you. So
we have online
Charlie. Do you know Charlie? You know any Charlie?
His last name Hermosa?
Oh, yes, it is.
Hey, what's going on, guys?
Hey, Charlie, welcome.
Thank you. And I do have to apologize. My battery's going to possibly die, so it wasn't anything that you said if it hangs up, right, Anthony? So
okay, no problem.
Okay.
And we got this. We got the VA cemetery to bury your phone in case it passes.
Oh, gosh.
It's a veteran cell phone. Okay, go ahead, sir.
Yes, absolutely. So, I think it was very evident this weekend, right, in the activity on Saturday that the momentum, it's shifting, right? It's positive. I think all the veterans were really coming together. Not a lot of arguing. I think we're all on the same page as far as what we want. And Lee's on board. I mean, what Lee's saying is exactly what we need to do. We need to make sure we find that balance. But it's the momentum. But the other thing that we were talking about on Saturday was the fact that, it's hard for us to get rewired, right?
Yes.
Because our mission is to get things accomplished. And to your point, Anthony, if nobody's doing it, somebody has to do it.
Yes.
And that is how we're wired. We're going to do it one way or another. So if GOVA's not doing what they're supposed to be doing, or maybe they don't have the ability to do it at this point, right, with the services or whatever the outreach that we need right now, then we're going to find a means to be able to do it. So, but it can't be. They can't take it as an aggression against them. It should be in a sort of parallel. We're helping them, and whatever they need, whatever government needs, we're there to support them 100%. And that goes across to any of the veteran organizations. I think that all the vet organizations are really gelling together. I think we all understand the common ground. We definitely need to continue on that same path, but the momentum is definitely there. We got to continue to push forward. Everything that's happening right now, everything that you guys are doing, we got to continue on that path because we can see that shift. You feel it, right? I mean, you feel it. You sense it. The conversations are just amazing. That the things that we're meeting on the task force, the folks that are showing up. Yeah. I mean, this is great. This is exactly what we need, and we can't stop. We got to continue to push forward. So, to your point, Anthony, we can't get rewired. Yes. Man, you give us a mission, and we need to accomplish it one way or another.
And just like everything else we've done in the military, right? sometimes, one group wants to pull this way, the other wants to pull this way. Before we start pulling in different directions, maybe we say, look, okay, I know you feel that this is one way to go. We think it's this way. Let's strategize. What do you think might work best for us, right? Maybe we kind of meet in the middle somewhere and say, okay, let's attack it this way. That way, this helps rather than is hurtful. You know what I mean? And it's communication.
Yeah, it's communication, but it's called strategic planning. It's called,
yes.
Hey, do you have a plan? Yeah, absolutely. We're just not just, but as long as we have a strategic plan, as long as we know where the compass is pointing, right? I mean, sometimes it goes to the right and sometimes it flickers to the left, but at the end of the day, we know exactly where it should be aiming. So nothing's ever going to be perfect.
Right.
But as long as we have the strategic plan, we have a mission, we know the direction, we know exactly what our goal is. That is what everybody should be shooting towards.
Yes, and I appreciate that, Charlie. And having this type of a conversation is what we should be having. Speaking with Senator San Augustine today, right? He kind of had this. I've been talking to our veterans for a long time, and there's quite a few of them that are they're just trying to get something for nothing, and that's okay, because imagine. For so long, there was nothing, but today there might be something that we might be able to get. But even with that type of thinking, right, we need to be thinking about everything, right? We can't just try to, what's the adage, right? You feed a man for a day, right? You give a man a fish, he eats for a day, right? If we teach him how to fish, he'll eat forever, right? Because he's able to.
Did Johnny say that? Or?
well, we can't use fish.
He should use that.
You
should use that, Charlie, on Wednesday. If you join him on Wednesday, you should use that.
Yeah.
Lee Weber says we have very limited assets, so what we do must be a very focused approach to getting folks signed up.
Okay, and I think that was our last meeting with him. He said we needed a communications campaign, right?
Yes.
And at our next meeting for our task force, maybe that's something we can focus on. And I think we're doing some of that already, right? I know we have one email being set up for all these informations to go through. I think Miss Karina's working on a.
That was one of our points, right?
Yeah.
And that's one of the points that we need to knock out, right? That's the reason why we put all those points on the board, right? Because that's our goal. Those are the things that we need to hit. And communication plan is a key factor. And we have multiple ways to communicate via email. I mean, we had some great ideas, right? So, but we can have great ideas, but if we don't execute or just do one to get things off the ground, it's never going to happen. Nothing's ever going to be perfect. If we wait for everything to be perfect, nothing ever gets done.
Yes.
Correct.
All right. So.
And then we have Steve online saying the VA director is scheduled to visit CBOC. Maybe they will have the time to do a town hall meeting after their site visit at CBOC. Hopefully, Steve, I guess we can maybe reach out to the congressman. And
Is that Robinson that we're talking about?
Is that Robinson, Steve? I think so.
Yeah, I think that's who they were requesting.
And here's another interesting. Ishmael says, getting my coworker who completed his tour of duty in the Army in 1982 signed up with the VA. The older generation is not aware they can still register for benefits decades later. Yes, Ishmael, we talked about that in the beginning of the show that, even though you're retired and you think you're going, to the Naval Hospital, but you get a lot of benefits by registering with the CBOC and getting service connected.
And we spoke to one veteran today that we helped in the past, and he said to us, we're going to go capture this veteran. So so there's a lot of veterans out there that are finding other veterans saying, hey, you need to come take a look at this and do this, right? And to our point, right, the more we can get our veterans into the system, the better it's going to be for all of us. But as Lee said, we need to get that campaign. And I think we're getting to it. It's sometimes like, we sit everybody down and like the Joint Chiefs of Staff, right? Every general wants to take the lead, but only one guy can be the chief of staff.
And then it gets just all chaotic.
Yes. So I think we got to wrap up. Thank you, everyone, for calling.
Thanks for calling in.
Have a good night, guys. Thank you.
Yes.
Okay, thanks, Charlie.
And we'll see you guys next week.
Yes.
And Monday, 6 p.m., and then we will have Total Guam on next week.
They better come.
Yes.
We'll see you.
They confirmed.
Okay, great.
Thank you. See you next week at 6.
All right.
The Point is KUSG, Hagåtña, Guam, 93.3 FM and 104.3 HD3. 4.3 HD3.
Israel presses deeper into Gaza. I'm Sue Guzman, Fox News, and about 300,000 Palestinians have fled Hamas's latest stronghold, Rafah, as Israel continues to close in on the southern Gaza city. Fox's Trey Yingst has more.
Nearly 220 days into the war between Israel and Hamas, Israeli forces continue to operate in the northern part of the Gaza Strip as the Israeli Air Force targets different Hamas positions in northern Gaza. It comes as Israeli forces say they are pushing deeper